principle of teaching small. So you're, first of all, plan and think about clear objectives and try to align them to your learning outcomes. And this is not like to do that in class. You have to find a way to do this visible for the students. So try to develop, for example, a visual syllabus, a graphic syllabus beyond the written one. Plan small activities, engaging activities for the students. Try to prepare small or short lecturate, so 5-10 minutes to introduce a topic. Break down complex tasks and try to give them feedback every time you think that is important to support them and to give a way to think and reflect on what they are doing. Create mini assignments, not big and assignment, but try to break down also the assignments and post summaries, for example, at the end of each modules, at the end of each class in the discussion forums. So, and at the end, I will encourage you to think about that. We are teaching humans behind names and screen. And these are the three main components that can really help students to be engaged and teacher to be motivated and to teach in a way that is increasing learning for a better learning for students and teachers. So motivation, presence, and teaching small. This is really, I think, very important to get their engagement in the content, in the group, and among them.
How do I achieve these goals? I mean, you have to refer to participants, and you know, maybe the Nuremberg funnel, there was it's a very long time ago, but sometimes I have the feeling in schools it's not this long time ago that there was this idea that you can use a funnel, put the content in the head of the participant, and that's it. Doesn't work, we all know this. So you have to go through a didactical design process of your course. First of all, you have to identify what exactly is it that the participant, in the context I just explained, has to learn. What exactly is it? So you have to define learning targets. Then what info is needed to reach this target. So you have to identify the knowledge element which is imperative to reach this learning target. And what is the best way to present this? So you have to talk about or think about materials to work out, methods or media you want to use. And then, very important, you have also to think about the task or the role of the teacher in this setting. So what exactly are the teacher's activities to help the students or the participants in this?
We are often talking about formal learning. Formal learning takes place in education and training independently on the method which is used and leads to diplomas and qualification. But we more and more face non-formal learning, which is something that happens alongside mainstream system of education, which doesn't typically lead to formalized certificate and should be followed intentionally. Not formal learning, there's an explosion of learners and of material that you can have and face on the web. And then informal learning, something that is not necessarily intentional. You look for certain information to go quick to an answer through the internet, through asking your friends and whatever. It's something that happens all the time. So the lifelong dimension of learning brings the complementarity of this formal, non-formal, and informal learning into a sharper focus.
So, and this is more or less what you can see after a video with the Lightboard. So you can draw directly on the board, and you can write. This is an engineer, our colleague Spiazzi. So he refers to the image, you see, and then he writes and he comments. And well, this is one of my last MOOCs for the course that I'm delivering by now. So I prepare just, it is enough to prepare the slides, and then you go there, and in 5 minutes you shoot the video, and then you're ready to upload it. And very recently we improved a small version of the Lightboard. You can put it in the kitchen, for instance. And this is more or less the effect. You can project whatever you want and record it. So it is a little bit smaller. So you appear a little bit bigger than the other model, but it's quite effective.
Learning is enhanced, activated, very effective when it's fun, when it's inspiring, when it's relevant. In other words, it's not some abstract idea without any examples, and it liberates you and empowers you. So just keep those things in mind. I'm going to come back because I have some specifics about each one of those. I'll do it right now. For example, I've been to a couple of Zoom lectures. When you have 800 people on the Zoom platform, you cannot do it. But when you have 20, 30 people like here, the first thing you do is not get into the topic, but spend half an hour or 20 minutes, especially in a class that you're going to be conducting for, 10 weeks or 14 weeks or whatever period of time. Spend some time, get to know each student. Let each one tell a story about their childhood, where they come from, I don't know, a topic, something that they want to share about their passion. That's what we do when we get together as a family, right? We talk. So having a classroom on a Zoom platform, when you haven't seen the students, you're not making physical contact, you're not seeing eye to eye, you're not in the same room together. Make the connection. But start with yourself. Talk about yourself. If you're the professor, talk about yourself. Talk about, how many courses you failed one time and how you learned. How maybe you were not such a great student one time, but you learned over the years. And talk about your failures as well as your successes. Connect with the students. So and then try to liven up the experience by not talking for a long period of time. So when I'm doing my Zoom lectures, for example, or call it digital educational lectures, I stop every 10 minutes, maybe even less, 8 minutes or so. And we open it up. What are you thinking? Any thoughts? Are they interruptions? Absolutely, they're interruptions. I want to go through the whole lecture. No, I stop. Because interruptions, life is a series of interruptions, interrupted by interruptions, right? You get used to it. But that provides feedback to find out what's not making sense, what is fitting. So a lot of it is improvisational theater because you don't know where it's going to go. So don't go in there with a script, but be open to Q&A, discourse. And the only way we're going to be able to increase the learning is really to focus on, to focus on a new paradigm where we think about increasing the productivity of our universities, of our classes, of our educational activities by focusing on one thing. How can we increase the learning productivity of the student? So I had to go through that transformation myself. So it's not about my productivity and how can I be more efficient? How can I be more effective? No. How can the students' learning productivity be increased? If you focus on that and make that your primary objective, trust me, just trust me, they will know that you care. They will connect with you in ways that you never imagined, and they will be partners with you in creating a ecosystem for increasing the learning.